Hi, my name is John and welcome to another edition of Statistics Quest. This weekend in the NFL, the Rams play the 49ers for the third time. And in particular, if you're a football fan, you may have heard the expression, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in the NFL. We're going to look at the truth or non-truth of that statement. Okay, so we're going to ask the question, is it hard to beat a team 3 times in the NFL? And we'll see here in a second, it really depends on your assumptions and what exactly you mean, right? Well, since the merger, which was in 1970, that's actually when the NFL merged with the AFL to become the NFL, there have been 66 instances where teams have played each other 3 times. This is give or take 1 or 2. I actually had to look at a couple different websites to get this information together, so if it's off 1 or 2, but basically these are the numbers that you can go by. 14 times one team has won all 3 games, okay? So if you ask this question, well, out of all the times teams have played each other 3 times in the NFL and find the number of times that one of them won 3 times, is it a very high percentage? Say, not really. It's 14 out of 66, and that's about 21%. And that leads to this myth that it is hard to beat a team 3 times in the NFL. And the reason I call it a myth is because the question is usually asked after a team has won twice and is about to play them for a 3rd time. So what we really need to be asking for the context of the question is not how hard it is to beat a team 3 times, how hard is it to beat a team 3 times given that you've beaten them twice. That's really what's meant, okay? That's a different answer. So 21 times actually, a team has won the first 2 times and about to have played a team a 3rd time. And 14 of those times, they've won the game. So again, changing the question slightly, how easy is it to beat a team 3 times in the NFL given that you've already beaten them twice? It's not 14 out of 66, it's 14 out of 21. So again, you're going to hear people say, in particular with the 49ers and the Rams, the 49ers, it's going to be hard for them to beat the Rams a 3rd time because they've already beaten them twice. No. Now, a couple things with this. 14 out of 21 really doesn't say much. And in fact, we might have expected it to be a little bit over 50% of the time. And the reason is a team that has won the first 2 times, there's a good chance that they're going to be the favorite. They've already won twice. They might be at home. Ironically, with the San Francisco, who has beaten the Rams twice, that's not the case. They're actually on the road. They're considered probably a slightly lesser team. So, you can't really say, 14, San Francisco has a 14 out of 21 chance because that's happened 14 out of 21 times. But the point I'm trying to make is, none of this really means anything. You can go ahead and cite these statistics, and the main point is to say that again, make sure you know what you're really answering. And just to give you a quick example, if you're at, like I say, a roulette wheel in a casino, and assuming there's only black or red, I think there might be a green. I've really never played roulette. I think there might be a green 0 or 00, but let's assume there's only black or red, right? And you pose the question right before you start playing, maybe with your friends, what's the probability of getting black 10 times in a row? Well, the probability of getting black 10 times in a row, given that it's 50-50 each time, would be 1 over 2 to the 10th power, which is 1 over 1024. That's pretty rare, right? But then, so you get black 9 times in a row. And then somebody asks the question, well, what's the probability that the next one is a black? And then you might have somebody say, well, wait a second. We earlier said it was 1 out of 1024. So we better bet red because we don't think black's going to come up. No, now it's a different premise. Now you have 9 blacks already. So the question is, what's the probability of a 10th black given that you've already had 9 blacks? Real easy. 1 out of 2. Okay, which it is on any given one, right? And not 1 in 1,024. So this same principle basically holds anyway, so what it comes down to is, quite frankly, what are the chances of the San Francisco 49ers beating the Rams? It really depends on a given year, the given teams, and the different situation. You know, as it is, San Francisco's like a 3.5-point underdog. That translates to about 40% of the time that they'll win the game. Throw all of this away, I'm going to say they have about a 40% chance of beating the Rams. Anyway, so thank you for tuning in to another episode of Statistics Quest. Again, if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe and feel free to like it or make any comments or questions, and I'll be glad to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks again.